Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to learn about the Tokyo 2020 Olympics and all the things that were supposed to be happening this year that unfortunately it has been canceled. So we have this breaking news here. It says that the Olympics have been concealed only 3 times before. They were concealed once during World War One. They were concealed twice during World War Two. And when we finished this issue, when they first published this issue, it was possible that they would have to be concealed and moved to a later date. The coronavirus was spreading around the world. The virus caused a flu-like illness. By March, more than 800 people in Japan had the disease, and the Olympics have since been postponed and concealed for 2020. But we're going to read about this, and then we'll do a follow-up article that the magazine has created to discuss the coronavirus and the postponement of the Tokyo 2020 Summer Games. So let's take a look at our vocab. So we have evolving, which is changing or developing slowly, often becoming better or more advanced. Propose is to suggest. The debut is to first appear. Scorching is very hot. And sustainable is involving methods that do not completely use up or destroy natural resources like land, trees, and water. So it's almost that time again. For 2 weeks in July and August, the best athletes in the world will gather in Tokyo, Japan. They'll come from more than 200 countries. They'll sweat it out on the basketball court. They'll flip through gymnastics routines. They'll do much more. Even if you aren't a sports fan, you might find these games interesting. Here are 5 things that might just set these Olympics apart from the rest. 1. Exciting new sports. Oh, they have 3-on-3 basketball, sport climbing, and surfing. Wow. All right, let's take a look. The modern Olympics are 124 years old. Some of the sports are even older. Greco-Roman wrestling is one of them, but the games are evolving with the times. The host country gets to propose new sports. This year, skateboarding will make its debut. So will surfing, sport climbing, and 3-on-3 basketball. The organizers want to keep young people interested in the games, but they won't say yes to every sport. Sports of the mind get a no, so if you like chess, you're out of luck. Sports that use machines are also not allowed. That means no auto racing. But do you like breakdancing? Then stay tuned. It may be an Olympic sport in 2024. All right, what's a big reason new sports are added every 4 years? Okay, but they want to keep young people, that's you, interested. 2. Inspiring young athletes. Sometimes at the Olympics, a young athlete becomes a star. Chloe Kim was in the 2018 Winter Olympics. She won a gold medal in snowboarding. She was still in high school. This time, look out for Sky Brown. She's from Great Britain. She's a skateboarder. She's one of the best in the world. She'll be 12 when the Olympics start. Up to now, the youngest champion in an individual event is Marjorie Justring. She was a diver. She won in 1936. She was 13. Will Brown beat her record? All right, who is the youngest Olympic person to ever win a gold medal? And that was Marjorie Justring. Okay. Number 3, big weather worries. The last 2 summers in Japan have been very hot. Daytime temperatures were higher than 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The scorching heat killed more than 1,000 people. Olympic officials are working on ways to beat the heat. They moved the marathon to northern Japan. It's cooler there. Other events will start very early in the morning. It's not as hot in the morning. Organizers are even testing a new way to keep visitors cool. It's a snowmaker. It blasts people with fake snow. All right, what is being done to beat the heat? So they moved the Olympics, and they're going to a cooler part of the country, and they're going to have games starting more in the morning, and then also possibly using the snow machine. 4. Serious planet protection. Hosting the Olympics is a big job. Tokyo needs stadiums for the events. It needs beds for the athletes. It needs medals for the winners. What happens to all that stuff when the games are over? In the past, a lot of stuff has been thrown away. The people planning the Tokyo Games are making them more sustainable. They're building 18,000 beds out of cardboard for the athletes. After the games, the beds will be recycled, and they're making the medals from pieces of old electronics. So what is something that's sustainable? So sustainable is that it can continue to be used and not destroy, help to save the planet. 5. An equal playing field. In the Tokyo Games, nearly half the athletes will be women. This is the first time that happened. It's a big change from the first Olympics in 1896. Back then, only men could compete. Later, women's sports were added. Golf was added in 1900, figure skating in 1908, and swimming in 1912. American female swimmers didn't compete that year. Why? The U.S. team had a rule. Women had to swim wearing long skirts. Today, the games have no male-only sports, and more sports let men and women play on the same teams. In Tokyo, they'll team up for table tennis. For the first time, they'll run and swim relays together. What is happening in Tokyo for the first time this year? Well, if the games were able to continue on, it would be that they would be mixing up and having more equality among the players. All right, guys, you're going to tell me where, what, who, why, and how, as well as review the vocab on the Google form. Make sure you hit submit.